All right. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the pre-market show. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great weekend as well. Good morning, Norm. How are you today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I'm doing great. Hope you are too. Hope everybody had a great weekend.
All right, excellent, man. Today on our gappers list, we have quite a bit, guys, as you can see here, especially on the green side. I mean, this thing is jam-packed with some interesting numbers here, as we can see. So we'll check in what's going on there. Not a lot in the gapping down list, but we have three that we have looked at least last week, once or twice. NKLA has obviously been on our radar for quite some time, so we'll see what's happening there. So before we get into that, guys, let's take a look at the market pulse, see what's happening there, and then we'll come back to this gappers list.
Yeah, man. So we are up almost exactly 1% on the SPY this morning, getting a rebound after a nasty sell off last week. Um, tech and biotech and semiconductors are leading the way. We don't have any economic data today, but people will be talking about stimulus and the failed attempt to get anything through the Senate last week, and then see if they'll be talking about that and if they can come up with a deal over the week. So that's what we've got for today. Should be interesting to see how this week plays out. Looks like we're gonna maybe get a little bit of a relief rally here.
Yep, it definitely has been interesting, and all last week was pretty fun towards the end too. We had a lot going on there, and a lot of movement for us as intraday traders. All right, guys, let's get into our gappers list. Let's start with what's up this morning. Let's do what's down first. We only have three there. Let's cover those, and we'll come back and do what's capping up. So on the downside, we do have NN. Oh, hold on, let me link my trade ideas here. 1 second. This makes life a lot easier. So we'll link this here, hit OK, and that should be good to go. Let's see. All right, perfect. So let's start with the first one here. So this NNOX, now this one we've been watching before in the past. Doesn't look all that well as far as what I saw in the intraday last week. But on Friday had an amazing day, guys. Look at this breakout. Now, it's a recent stock here, just opened up a few days ago. Actually the 21st over here in July, I believe. August, excuse me, August. So
Yeah.
new recent IPO, but I gotta tell you, man, this thing has been trading really, really well over the last couple of days, at least on the daily. But the intraday hasn't been all that great. Besides Friday, I saw a great play there. Again, traded very clean. So for the most part, could be a possible this morning. Worth watching. They are down quite a bit after doing a great run on Friday. Worth putting on here on this list here. NNOX. We'll add it here. Let's make some. Let's take these two off from here. Make some room. Perfect. Next is NKLA. Now this one, guys, also has been very, very active. A lot of news behind this one, as you know. Let's zoom into our daily here. So again, right here, guys. So again, a lot of news on this one, guys. We got a decent daily. Has dropped a lot, lost a lot of levels, but their pre-market today is looking really good with a lot of volume. Right now, they have 4.6 million shares traded. And they're up 2.6 this morning. So I'm sorry, down 2.6. Was down a lot more than that. Maybe probably
Oh yeah.
8 or 10, maybe. I mean,
It was down more than that, man.
yeah. So
It was
down.
down around. It was down around 27. So that would be $5. That would be like 15-ish%,
Yeah,
somewhere in there,
50,
mid teens.
yeah. That again, nice big drop here. Has recovered a lot this morning, but again, the activity here definitely worth watching on NKLA. So we'll add this one to the list. Again, a lot of news behind this one, Norm. Anything new besides what we already discussed last week?
Yeah, I think the company came out and they've been hit because a short firm came out and put a hit piece on them,
Yeah.
being fraudulent. I believe Jim Cramer spoke about them on his show and warned about the company on Friday, and then they came out this morning and gave some research stuff. So sounds like you got a band cranking up at your house there.
I do. Oh yes, they're clean. I can't hear these headphones. By the way, the noise cancellation is amazing. Like a bomb can go off, and I don't even know what's happening. But yeah, they're doing the streets and the sidewalk, which is great. But yeah, they start very early, so you're gonna hear that in the background. So apologies for that, guys. All right, so that's NKLA. That looks good. Gild, GILD. This one here, guys, the daily is a little bit all over the place. Not the best day trading stock. We know that because we try to trade it in the past. And again, it can have some pretty wild moves. The spread sometimes is also not the greatest. You got to be careful with that if you're trading it. Pre-market action. This is actually a good, decent pre-market action for Gilead. They don't usually have a great pre-market action. Norm, is there any news that will make this interesting to keep on our radar today?
Yep, they're buying the top gapping up stock IMMU, so that's why they're down this morning.
All right, so let's keep an eye on it. With knowing that again, guys, these guys are not the best intraday stock to trade. But if they have news, I also like the daily looks a little bit interesting. We lost this previous day close here, and now we're dropping some more. So that looks interesting there. Let's see how that's going to play out today. All right, let's see what's gapping up. We have a lot on here. I'm going to go into the top six. Maybe we'll scroll down and see if there's anything here that we like. For example, MU's on our list. Wow, so that's interesting. NCLH, Tesla. These are ones that we have been tracking closely. So we'll keep we'll take a look at those. But let's start with the top six, top five. IMMU. We've seen this one before, guys. Doesn't trade very well. Today looks like they're having some type of a buyout.
Yeah, it's the buyout I just mentioned by Gilead.
Okay, so this is the
Cash
yeah.
buyout, so it's not
Yeah.
really it's not tradable.
Right, guys. So this right here is not tradable. Again, you're gonna have the volume and it's up 105%, but it's not really something you can trade. So we will skip on this one. SGMS, this one this morning, pre-market right now is looking all right. What do we have? 294. It is up 33%. Their daily, I remember trading this one in the past. Their dailies, it's okay, not great. And you could tell also the volume is very light for the most part, less than almost 3 million shares on a given basis on any given day here. So, and again, not looking too good, guys, unless you have anything that looks that's great news wise on this.
They are selling a 35-ish% stake of their company to an investment firm and a group of investors, so that's why they're up.
Yeah. Right now, off the bat, guys, I know it's pre-market. Their spread right now is 20. It's almost 40 cents. Again, that's a lot for a $25 stock. So I'm gonna put it as a possible. That has to get better, or else is I'm sure it will. But again, if just keep an eye on that because that's a pretty big spread. Even with the volume we're getting now up 31%, you want to see that a little bit tighter. VXRT this morning. They again these guys have not been trading all that well. We had a lot of fun with them early on in June, July, and some parts of August. But for the most part, their intraday trading has been horrible. You can go back and check that for yourself there. But again, pre-market right now we do have 1.4. We are bouncing of somewhat seems to be a level of support over at 477. So it might be worth watching today. Norm, anything good on this?
Sorry, I was looking at something else. Which one did you say?
VXRT.
Yeah, they got clearance to start human trials for a COVID vaccine.
Okay. So again, they got a good pop going today, 12%, some good volume. Let's see what's going to come out of that there. Let's take a look next as GameStop. So again, GameStop, guys, has been very active over the last couple of days. Their daily showing that here with some nice pops, some nice gap ups, consolidation, then dropping back down here. And now we're up again on the 11.2. But again, the way this stock trades, yesterday actually was, I'm sorry, not yesterday, Friday looks like it had a decent day, but for the most part, guys, GameStop does not trade very well. The last couple of days, we're seeing a lot more volume after this breakout here on the 31st. So again, that's causing some momentum. But again, not usually the stock I like to trade, but I will put it as a possible. I know there's some members that do like to trade this stock, and if we have time towards the end, we can do levels for it, but it won't be on my list. Next, DPHC. This one is up 9.8. Pre-market is a little bit scattered right now, not looking all that great. We do have 274, 27 million shares flow. So it's on the lower side. I'm not liking what I'm seeing on the daily right now. If we look at this, looks like this stock just didn't have anything going on. August or so, they started to get a little bit active here. So Norm, any news on this stock or what type of company this is?
Uh,
Diamond Peak Holdings.
yeah, it's a electric vehicle company. I'm not seeing anything fresh on it, so I'm not quite sure what's going on that.
All right. So again, guys, I'm not a big fan of the pre-market and the daily's okay. It's not great. We'll put it here as a possible, but I think as we go through this list, we'll find some other ones that are looking a lot better that we can keep on our list. OSTK has been very active as well the last 3-4 weeks. So right now they are up 9.2, 198. On Friday they had a really right there here. Let's look into that. So you can see here the nice little drop they had, a beautiful continuation on OSTK. So we're getting some good movements out of this one. Again, this is a very aggressive stock. It does move quite a bit. If you look at this drop here, just to give you an example, this 5 minute goes up to 79.50 and then drops right back down to 74. So it kind of tells you how this stock could move. That's in a matter of 5 minutes there. So it's very an aggressive stock. You got to be very careful and also be mindful of the number of shares. I'm going to put it on here, OSTK. All right, there we go. We'll keep that one. And then let's do one more, Oracle. And Oracle, we are up 7.6. So this must be some news because this stock doesn't move often at all. And they got 4.2 million shares traded.
Yep.
What's the latest and greatest?
It looks like they are the ones going to be taking over at least a part of TikTok instead of the Microsoft Walmart partnership that got rejected. So it looks like it's going to go to Oracle. Details are kind of not entirely clear on what's going on there, but it looks like Oracle's going to end up with TikTok as the story is.
Gotcha. All right, guys. So again, big pop for them today. Might be definitely worth watching. They're in play today. Usually this stock does not trade very well. It's very choppy. It reminds me of a type of QCOM stock, which is also another one that, again, doesn't trade very well. But again, they got some big news today with that one because that's been the talks of some time now. It's getting a lot of attention. And you can see here the volume 4.2. So we'll keep an eye on this one. All right, let's go over Norm. What do you like this morning?
Still looking at not a ton. Nvidia looks a little interesting this morning. If it can get going, it's got a ton of volume for Nvidia.
Yeah, I do like Nvidia. Actually, I like the daily as well on Nvidia. Let's add it on here. I like it better than some other ones we have on here. So, like a VXRT, that I might drop that one and keep Nvidia. I like Nvidia too because it's been consolidating here. We're at the top of this range, the 520, excuse me. That has been an area of resistance and support as well. Let's see if we can break out of that. That seems to be the high of the pre-market now as well. So I do like Nvidia this morning. All right, guys, let's take it to the room. Let's see what do we have. Let's start here with. Okay, we have Oracle. That's good. Piton. Let's take a look at that one. That one, another one that has been very active today. All right, so Piton this morning. Interesting daily. Had a brutal day on Friday, guys. I didn't see the whole drop on here. I saw the part of it, but did not see it kept continuing here. So that could be interesting for today. Possible continuation. We're sitting right below of the lows from the after hours, right above the lows from the after hours on Friday. So yeah, I like Piton a lot, actually. Let's throw that on here. Thank you for that one. What else we have? SAVA going up nonstop. Sounds like a low float here. I think we have looked at this one before. SAVA. What's the float on this? 22. Yeah, so it's a borderline low float, also lower price stock, but definitely in play, guys. 11 million shares traded right now, 11.6, up 150. It's just insane. So that is the low float. I know the numbers, it's a 22 million shares flow, so it's not technically low flow, but you got to treat it like one when you're moving like this up 150 and you're going from 425 this morning already at 820, 822. So good volume there. We'll keep that one on there. We'll take a look at it later. Nvidia is good. I like Nvidia too. I like what I'm seeing there. We have that one. Tesla. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla also has been very active. We've seen a better pre-market activity from them. Their daily does look interesting, very similar to Nvidia's. It's kind of bouncing back here a bit. But I'm not liking it more than Nvidia or some of the ones I have this morning. But it can be a great possible. Great possible for Tesla. Definitely better than some of the stuff we have here on this possibles list. What else, guys? So we have Tesla. Let's take a look at SAVA. We do have Piton is on there. MU, yes, MU is on our list for once. We have not looked at this one in some time. Let's take a look. A nice pop here, 4.4, 318. What's the news on MU? Is anything going on today? Because they have not been trading, at least for us, as well as we would like. We used to have
they did get an upgrade out of Goldman this morning with the price target of 58.
Okay. Yeah, so that's some worthy news there, guys. And we do have a nice little pop here. We're hitting right at this area of last resistance, some moving averages. We actually, for MU, let's not forget, MU typically does not put in a great pre-market activity. This right here is actually pretty good for MU, and considering the volume too, 325. That's a lot for MU. So looking pretty good. We'll add that on there. David from Connecticut is giving us Apple. Let's take a look. Apple at the moment. Activity is a little bit.
Oh, yeah, they
Yeah.
did. They did purchase another company as well.
Who?
And
MU?
that's yeah, no, Nvidia. I wanted to go
Oh,
back there on Nvidia. It's part of what's going on.
okay. Okay. Yeah, they got some good movement today on there. So definitely like that. Let's take a look where we were at Apple. Apple has been great. They had a couple of choppy days, but aside from that, man, they've been trading pretty clean. This pre-market is probably one of the weakest one we have seen over the last couple of days because they've just been doing an amazing pre-market along with Tesla. So again, I'm not we can't judge it too hard just on this activity. They do got great volume, 2 million shares, up 1.6. Man, I think it's definitely worth watching. Let's throw it on here. I'm putting it as a possible because I got way too many on my main list, but we'll dissect that list in a second. All right, guys, what else we have? So MU is on there. SRNE. SRNE is a hit or miss. We had a few days where it traded very, very well. They're very active this morning, 989,000 shares traded. It's got a okay pre-market action. I mean, it popped up. It's kind of giving some magna, just moving sideways. So I don't like this here. If this would have found the base and by now you're moving up with some good volume, maybe. But at the moment, I'm not seeing anything great. The daily looks good. But again, it's just kind of coming back down to the previous day close here. Unlike this pre-market action, SAVA, this one here is very active, very strong right now. This definitely's got it going on today. So I'm going to skip on SRNE this morning, guys. I just don't like the pre-market action on it. WKHS, Workhorse, their daily looks very, very good. I like the possible breakout here that we have in the daily chart pre-market. We've seen better, but this is not bad. Yeah, Workhorse is decent. I like Workhorse, especially that daily there that we have. And we know Workhorse has the potential to break out nicely. Has done that a couple of times here. Broke out of this high of this most recent high going back into what's that July right on here. It has been consolidating slightly above that. So we'll see if it has more juice to break out of that here. All right, guys, we have a lot today. I'm going to do just a few more PFE, and then we'll do Microsoft, and then we'll have to cut it there. So PFE guys, nice pop 2.2, 272 on the volume. This is a nicey stock, so it tends not to trade all that well pre-market wise, but it can have a beautiful market open. I'm on the fence on it, man. I'm seeing a lot of other great stocks on our list right now, so I'm on the fence whether to add this one or not. We'll have to, if it gets better, throw it back to me. But right now, I'm going to keep it off. Microsoft is looking very good. Actually, nice pre-market activity. Has a nice range to it at the moment. Apple right now and some of those other ones are just kind of moving sideways. This one has a nice drop here and a nice comeback. Also, their daily, very similar to a lot of these stocks. It's kind of at the bottom of this support area we had over the last couple of days. So interesting. It's got good volume. Man, I'm gonna regret adding so many stocks here, but I might add Microsoft too. All right, we'll put that on there. All right, let me see. What do we have on YouTube chat? We probably cover everything you guys are throwing out there. Let's see. MU, we have SRNE, we have, yes, NVIDIA looks good. I agree. Apple, we do have. We did not look at AMD. We have MU. Let's look at AMD quickly. AMD, good pre-market action, decent volume for 28. Again, AMD also very similar to some of these other companies, just kind of hanging out in this area of support here. So I'm gonna skip on this one because I have way too many right now. But these AMDs, MUs, if we take them off our main list, we do have our scanners. So anything starts looking good there, we can go to that. Let's look at MGM this morning. What do we have here? So MGM right now, I don't like MGM, guys. The price action is not great. It's horrible, actually. It's very choppy. You can see that on there. And when if you're new, what we mean by that is take a look at like who had a great Nvidia. Nvidia has a good one. Look how nice this range is happening here, right? If you look at MGM, you're not getting that under 100,000, and also the daily has just been so brutal the last couple of days. Look how choppy this has been here. All right, we'll do two more SPAC and mRNA. So SPAQ. Now this is Shell Company, guys. We haven't been keeping it on
Yes.
here. I know it's very active, but we have not really been watching the action on this one. Let's look at mRNA. I know they had a big day last week, right? Last week they had this huge drop here, sold off almost an entire day. That was fun. Today they're not doing a whole lot, guys. Volume is very light, and pre-market I'm not seeing anything great, so we're gonna skip on it. But they had a nice day a couple of days ago here. All right, guys, with that said, let's go over to announcements. We'll come back and fine tune this list on this Mindful Monday. After that, we will have Dr. Katz on. So looking forward to that.
Yeah. So quick weekly rundown. Brian usually does a swing trade discussion each Monday at 2:30. That is kind of going on just about every day since he's in the market close show. And then onboarding class with Carlos at 8 p.m. That's typically for newer members to get everything set up and get a deeper understanding of variable traders and everything else. But of course, you're welcome to attend even if you've been here for 3 years. Let's see here. Tuesday, Thursday at noon, you've got Eamon's trade reviews, and then you've got psychology webinars that night as well. Wednesday are success webinars, generally at 8 p.m. The times do change. The times do change sometimes. Sorry, due to people's potential time zone issues. Thursday, as I mentioned, Eamon's trade review at noon, and then the closing bell show with Peter Monday. With Peter, Mike, and Brian, 3:30 to 4:15 every Monday through Friday or Thursday. Peter, this week success webinar, he's going to be talking about his lightning bolt pattern. He's done lightning bolt before. A number of people have been trading this pattern, and so it will be maybe a more advanced version. Maybe you guys can dig into some of the experiences you had. Should be pretty cool. And then next week is Andrew doing a success webinar. It's been a while. He's going to be talking about scalping momentum at the open, how he trades. I believe that's going to be simulcast on YouTube, but don't hold me to it yet. And then tomorrow night, 8 p.m. is Dr. Katz talking in a town hall talking about best and worst trading moments. And next week is Mike's Module 3 talking about the importance of discipline in trading. Guys, the trade of the week, we have upped the prize big time. We're giving away the top-of-the-line iPhone. When the new iPhone comes out next month, you'll get that one. Right now, we'll give you the iPhone 11 Pro. So what you have to do is take a screenshot of your best trade of that day, mark it up, entries, exit, strategy, ideas, whatever else you want to put on there, levels, tag at Variable Traders, at MikeB_BBT, and at NormBBT. Also use the hashtags BBT family, day trading, and stock market. You can find all these instructions in the forum post that somebody will link to up in the alert section above. The winner for the trade of the week will be announced. Well, the trade of the day is announced in the closing bell show, and then the trade of the week is on Mondays in the closing show and on Twitter, and we'll talk about it Tuesday mornings here. The winner will recap their trade, make a trade book page, strategy page, which we will give you details about, and that'll qualify you for the iPhone. So there you go. If you're looking to try BBT out, you haven't been in here, you can do so at a discount. Use the promo code PREMARKET24. That's $24 off. It gives you 7 calendar days in the room, 5 trading days unless there's a holiday. And then also Carlos's onboarding class each and every Monday night I was just talking about. Good morning, Dr. Katz.
Good morning, fellas. How are you today?
Great. How are you?
Good. So on the Mindful Monday today, I wanted to talk kind of about a few things and give a good story, I think. Just recently, my good friend and colleague, Dr. Brett Steenbarger, who most of you know, wrote a brief article on the ingredients that he felt went into an ideal trading psychology. And those 4 areas he talked about are planning, focus, calm, and purpose. And in this, Brett mentioned that, whenever you work with, and I do a lot of this, with an athlete or a team, a surgeon, kind of any high performance, high level performance individual, we see evidence of extensive and detailed planning. The ideal mindset, of course, for a trader is focused on a plan and an execution. And I'm often very concerned when I work with traders and high-level athletes is on the risk management part of planning and protecting the downside risks. And I thought I would just tell kind of an interesting story about and by the way, for confidentiality's sake, this is a story about a professional hockey player, but he's told this story on a podcast I was with him in, so there's no issues there. But I thought I would, this planning and preparation illustration, I think, is a good one. And that several years ago, I was working with a high-level NHL hockey player, Marty Barone. He was a goalie for the New York Rangers. I've worked with a lot of NHL players and was the sports psychologist for the Rangers for a while. And Marty had been traded to the Rangers. And for those of you who are not a hockey fan, New York Ranger fans are very passionate, and 19,500 would show up every game at Madison Square Garden. And he had traded to the Rangers, and although he was a 10-year veteran goalie, he never had played a home game as a Ranger. And he was getting his first start. He was the backup goalie. And one of the things that I spent the meeting with Marty on in talking with him before, a day or two before that game, was really kind of the potential, how to protect really downside risk from a trader perspective, but for an athlete. What happens in Madison Square Garden is that the fans are incredibly passionate and supportive, but if you don't play well, you will hear it and hear it quickly. And there's a pattern in the Garden of the 19,500 that if a goalie starts off poorly and plays poorly, they start chanting the name of the starting goalie. Henrik Lundqvist has been the starting goalie for many years, and Marty was the backup. And so one of the things I talk with Marty about is saying, listen, Marty, here's the deal. What I'm particularly concerned about is you being prepared for if things do not go well. You've been an experienced goalie, but you've never played a home game as a member of the New York Rangers. So we need to spend a little time talking about protecting what could potentially go wrong and how to handle it. This is very important. And so I said to him, here's what will happen in Madison Square Garden. If things start to go poorly, the Ranger fans, all 19,500 of them, will start chanting Henrik Lundqvist, Henrik Lundqvist. They will chant that if things go badly, and that can be very unsettling for a goalie. So we need to have a plan to discuss if things go south, how you're going to manage this. And then Marty and I spent a fair amount of time just talking about the nature of planning for this potential downside. The game starts 2 days later. I'm watching at home on TV, and Marty is playing. It was a day game. Actually, the coach did a nice job. Marty's first home game, he gave him a day game. Why is that helpful on the weekend? Because you don't have 19,500 Ranger fans who have been in the bars drinking before the game on a weeknight, where they're a little kind of rowdier, and you have a lot of kids in the stands on a weekend as well. So hopefully the parents and adults are on a little better behavior. And more importantly, the coach put him in against the worst team in the league that year, which was the Edmonton Oilers. So everything was set up to be a good first-time home experience. The game starts, and within 1 minute, Marty gives up a goal. I felt from a perspective that the goal was like a 50-50 goal. It was not the easiest save, but it wouldn't have been the hardest save. But already now, Rangers down against the worst team, 1-0, Marty gives up a goal. Then about a minute and a half later, the Edmonton scores again. Marty gives up a terrible goal, a save that he would have made all the time. So now things are getting pretty unsettled, and the game is now down 2-0, 2.5 minutes into the game. About 30 seconds later, after the face-off following that second goal, the puck goes behind the Ranger net, and as a goalie does, tries to stop it and clear it to his defenseman. And then Marty does something that he probably does most once a year, and that is in trying to clear the puck to his defenseman, he fans on the clearing thing. And now the defenseman gets the puck and clears it in front, and there's an open shot at the goal, which fortunately the guy missed. So now 3 minutes have gone in the game, and the 19,500 fans in Madison Square Garden are chanting, Henrik Lundqvist, Henrik Lundqvist. And this is the scenario now at that moment, 3 minutes into the first home game. Marty's down 2-0 against the worst team. He is totally out of sorts. And at that point, we had talked about the importance of really the plan, which was at that time, if things go really poorly, just try to settle yourself down, focused on making the next save. If you make the next save, like making the next good trade, you'll feel a little more comfortable, and just go from there. Fortunately, what happened is that's exactly what Marty did. He made a couple of saves. The Rangers scored a couple of goals. The final score was Rangers 7, Edmonton 2. After that disastrous first 3 minutes, Marty settled down and played a great game. Our next meeting a few days later, Marty proceeded to tell me, because we had kind of discussed this exact same scenario, and he said when they started chanting his name and that was going on in the game, underneath his mask, unbeknownst to the 19,500, he started smiling and he said almost laughing, because the very worst case scenario that we had discussed was now present, with him playing terrible, totally out of sorts, the fans cheering against him. And he said he put into action the planning that we had just discussed 48 hours earlier, to try to settle himself down, to make an individual save. And then as he made a save, he settled himself down, more planned, got relaxed, more comfortable, and then executed his game plan throughout the rest of the day. So that story is an important one, because although I was hopeful, as I said to him, that this plan for protecting the downside, my hope was that it would not come to fruition, because the hope was that he would play a good game from the start, that it spoke to the importance of being ready when things don't go well and having a plan and being able to execute on it so that you can turn things around in a positive direction. And this is very important for trading psychology, because you could do all the research, the reading, the chart reviews, the news story reviews, but mentally you need to have a plan that when things don't go well for you trading wise, you have a mental discipline and a plan set in place so that you can execute on it and get things back in a good place, both psychologically and execution wise. So that's my Mindful Monday story of today. And hopefully that bit about planning can be something that all of you can use to help you with your trading moving forward.
Excellent story. Makes a lot of sense. Thank you, Dr. Katz.
Okay, guys, have a good day.
Take care. Have a great week.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Katz, for that. All right, guys, let's get to it. We got a bit of a list here. Let's start with, let's scan through it, see what we got, and then and take some stuff off here. So NNOX, this one, again, recent IPO, guys. I might take it off just for that. And I got a lot of other stuff here that looks great. So I'm going to remove this one. It's a recent IPO. It has been trading well. We saw that on Friday. Friday had an amazing day. The entire day was good Friday. Comes back to the VWAP here, moving average, and then takes off again, breaks the high of the day. So again, perfect stuff here, but I'm going to remove it. Again, it's just a recent IPO. I'm going to watch other stuff that has been out for a little bit, and that's trading very well today. NKLA today, I do like this morning, guys. Great pre-market action, as we're seeing here. So I do want to keep this one on deck. This is good. Gilead, I'm going to remove. The reason for it is because it is not the best intraday trading stock. Now, today they have news behind it, so it could be a little bit different. They could have a great day. But we got so many things on here. I think we have a better chance of watching something else. VXRT, I'm on the fence. I'm going to come back to this one. I like the bounce of this support we're having here at 472. So I'll get back to that one. OSTK, okay, pre-market action, also bouncing off 65. Great support area there. Let's come back to that one. I'm not convinced. Oracle has been trading great, guys. This pre-market action out of Oracle is really, really good. This stock doesn't trade very well, so I'm excited to see what this is going to bring for us. The spread is nice as well. So I think today could be a day where this thing trades very nice. We'll keep it on here. Here's NVIDIA starting to take off nicely. Love NVIDIA. We're going to keep that one on there. Now that I went through OSTK, Oracle, and NVIDIA, VXRT is looking horrible. Let's take this one out. Let's get rid of that. All right, so we got NKLA, OSTK, Oracle, NVIDIA is great right now. Good action there. Piton is good, guys. I like what I'm seeing here. Again, we had a nasty day on Friday. A possible continuation here as well. Pre-market action, we've seen better out of it, but not bad. 579 down 2.1. When a lot of stuff is green this morning, I want to keep that one on there. Workhorse, I love their daily. I think I'm going to keep that one. I think that might make my 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's my top 6 right there for today. And then the possibles, let's go through it, make sure we're not missing anything that looks spectacular. These are all good. Apple is good. MU is decent as well. Tesla, all these top 3 here on the possibles list are great. You could bring them up to your main list if you like the way these trades. If you've been watching them closely, you could do that. SGMS, again, they got a great pop here. Possibility for some good continuation and a great play here, up 30% this morning. But it's still probably possible. GameStop, I'm going to remove, but we're not going to have time for that one. DPHC, again, their pre-market action is really all over the place. They're up 9%, but again, let's get rid of this one. And Microsoft also looked good this morning as well. Better pre-market activity, continues to trade nicely here, bouncing off the support areas. So we got a really, really good list this morning. Even our possibles list is great. SAVA is the low flow of the day, guys. This one is trading real nice this morning. 18 million shares traded so far right now. Again, this thing is on fire. That is a 22 million shares flow, so be careful. It's on the lower side. All right, let's do levels. So let's start here with NKLA. Let's scroll back here. All right, here we go. So NKLA, guys, we do have our low of our pre-market sitting all the way at 26.98. So we'll mark that down. We do have a great double bottom here on the daily. I want to mark this down here over at the 29.07. So we'll do that. So those are two great levels towards the bottom here. If we lose the low of the pre-market, again, this thing was down as much as 15% earlier. We're only down 4 now, so we have climbed back a bit. But in case we go back down, because this stock can move, let's zoom into what do we have down here? Not so bad right here. 22.26, probably the best level. You can see several days testing that 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 days testing that 22.26. As support. So we're going to keep an eye on that one. And then towards the top, guys, you got your previous day close, which is very close to the high of the pre-market at 32.44. And then above that, the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days got you covered there. In between here, this is a big gap, right? So if you look at 32.42 all the way up to, what is this? 35.66, you got a nice big area here. So I'm going to go back. Let's see where we can find maybe a minor area of support and resistance. I do like this 34 on the dot. It's a whole dollar, which is good on top of that. But you have 2 days on here using support and resistance right on that at 34.02. So I'm going to mark that down there to have something in between our price action now and the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. So NKLA, guys, putting in a great pre-market action, beautiful volume right now. 5.4 is looking very, very good. Here is OSTK, high of the pre-market at 71.34. Towards the top, guys, plenty of levels, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. So you do not need to add any more. And then towards the bottom, you got your low of your pre-market, the low of last trading day, and the previous day close, all in this 65.08 area. So that's already marked down there for you. If we scroll down, if we were to go back down and lose this, we do have a level here at 60.70. So that is OSTK for us right now. Probably one of the least, one of the lesser stocks out of this group here. Probably the one that looks the worst out of all of them. Oracle looks very good. High of the pre-market all the way at 66. So we'll mark that down towards the bottom. I am going to mark, although this is our pre-market high here, I am going to mark this area here. And the reason for that is 63.75. We tested that several times. Look at the great rejection here and here as well, dropping down. We also did some consolidation around that 63.75. So we're going to have that on there. And then as low of the pre-market, we do have 60.25. Nice double bottom off that as well on the 5-minute. So we're seeing some good support on there as well. So I think we're all pretty set on Oracle. Again, trading very clean this morning on some good news. They are looks like they'll be getting the bid for TikTok here. Nvidia, great pre-market action, started getting really nice here with some good volume over the last couple of minutes. High of the pre-market sitting at 524, so we'll mark that down. Above that, you do have all the way up here 588. We have a clear one over here at 553. And then right in between here, let me zoom in a little more. Right in between here, around 538.41, you got another great level also. So again, you got plenty of levels towards the top. And then towards the bottom, you got your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. So I got you covered there. Here's Piton. I like Piton's daily. We're starting to lose it here. Pre-market low is going to be right over here now. Just got created 5 minutes ago at 81.75. But I am going to mark down this level here, guys. This 82.76. You could clearly tell how many times we tested this in the pre-market. So yes, this is the pre-market low, but this level is going to be important because you can see the action happening around that 82, 72, 75 there. You can also see after hours, that was an area where it kind of found some support before the market closed on Friday. So again, I'm going to keep an eye on that there. If we continue to lose this next level, we have this clean 79.32 is a good one. And all the way down here, an area of resistance that can now become support, 77.45. Here's Workhorse. Workhorse also has, I like the Workhorse. I like the daily on Workhorse more than anything. Again, beautiful consolidation here, potential for a breakout or at least if it's going to get a rejection, hopefully it can give us an opportunity towards the downside. Some good volatility here. High of the pre-market right now, 24.20, and I think that's really all you need to add. If you look at your highs and lows from the last 2 trading days, that high from 2 days ago, this would have been Thursday, does cover I think that's the all-time high on Workhorse, right? Yeah, it is. I think it's the all-time high there. So you're good there. Highs and lows around you. You can mark down the low of the pre-market at 23.51, a couple of cents below the previous day close. And then in between here, you have a nice little gap. I'm not going to look for this now for the sake of time, but you can go into the intraday action here and see if there's any level. Actually, you know what? Let's do it now. Let's do it now. So let's go into the 5-minute. Let's see if we can find something where we've seen a lot of touches. This is it right here, 23.15. You could tell here on the 5-minute, you got a lot of touches on that area. Look when we break down, we lose at 23.15. Look at the drop here. So that's nice. Then it was resistance also for Friday, for a big part of Friday. You can see here several times in the morning, in the mid-morning here, testing that 23.75, and then the breakout of 23.75. So you want to have that on there as a level to have on your chart. If this thing decides to lose that 23.50, that could be a good opportunity. All right, guys, let's get to our moderators. Let's see what their lineup is today. Let's start with John. So John is watching high of day breakout as usual. His top watches for that is going to be NVIDIA, which has a great pre-market action, Facebook and Apple. Mike, he's watching his high of day and low of day scanners. He has Microsoft, FB, and Apple on his radar. Brian likes Microsoft, DPHC, OSTK, Piton. MU is also very active. I have that on my possibles list as well. And SAVA for fun. That is the low flow of the day, guys. Very active. We have 19 million shares traded down right now. That one is up 127% this morning. Just insane. Tiffany likes Oracle. Again, Oracle is definitely in play today, guys. Not usually a good trading stock, but today's a difference maker with the news. We have NVIDIA, NKLA, and also SMU. Is that a ticker or is that MU? SMU. I think she probably meant MU. So I'm going to go with SMU because SMU doesn't come up. So that one's a good one too. Eamon has NVIDIA. Zoom. What is Zoom doing this morning? I'm going to hop into that real quick. Let's see what we have here. Not a whole lot, but I see he's probably looking for a breakout play there on Zoom. Pre-market's a little light right now, only 64,000. But potential for Zoom to get going there. Piton is great this morning. I love the action on that one. Workhorse, CCL, and MU as well. Jared likes NKLA. Okay, I guess that's the dollar sign. Not SNKLA, but NKLA, and also I believe that's Oracle. Yes, Oracle as well. All right, and here is Andrew just posted his list. It should be updating in the screen shortly. He has Piton, MU, NVIDIA, Oracle as his active. That's his main list, and then he's also watching out for the active sector that has been these cars, these batteries, right? These electronic cars. He has Tesla, NIO, and he also has Apple as well. As the low flow for the day is SAVA. Again, that's please be mindful of your share size on that one. Peter coming in with his list as well. His watch list right now, main list is WKHS, Nikola, NKLA, AMD, and as a secondary, he has Piton, CCL, and Apple. So again, we got a pretty good list here, guys, this morning. Very, very active. It is 9:20 Eastern time, guys. Thank you so much for joining us in the pre-market show. We'll continue this into the chat room and kind of fine-tune our list a little bit further. I see a lot of people with CCL. Let's see what CCL is doing. Not a whole lot right now, but it could be active. So guys, have a great Monday. Let's start off this week right. Remember Dr. Kat's message there about, again, just remembering to stick to one trade at a time. If you start off this week in a bad situation, just remember to focus in on just getting that one trade. And if something goes wrong, be sure to follow your plan at all costs. So take care, guys. Trade safe, and we will see you tonight. It's the onboarding class at 8 p.m. So I will see you there. Let's get together. If you just joined us, make sure you do not miss that class. We're going to go over everything that we have in our community, things that you need to look out for, and where to start, which is very important. Where to start and what classes you need to take and going forward. Kind of a little bit of a roadmap. So take care, guys. Have a great Monday, and we will see you tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern time.